Are we? Hey. Oh, hello. Welcome back to Modern Mommies here on tweettalk.tv, airing live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. I am one of your hosts, Alexis Ann Moore, mother of a beautiful 3-year-old child, creator of the Superhero Children program, and just an opinionated mother in general. And with me, I've got Jennifer Perry, who has been not only working in the public school system for 17 years and currently working as a counselor in elementary school in Dallas, Texas, but she's also the mother of 3 beautiful children. Hi,
Well,
Jennifer. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Doing well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. It's been crazy around here. So, just dealing with life and work and family and all of that stuff and juggling it. It's been an adventure.
I absolutely, yeah. But you seem to be doing it well.
I think we all fake it well. Just doing the best you can to tread water and stay afloat.
Yeah, I understand.
Figuring it out day by
Even your
day.
Well, and with us today we have two special guests. We've got Michelle Rizio. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Did I say
Yeah.
that? Michelle Rizio from Colorado, who is she's about to be a mother in 1 month. You're at
Yeah,
1 month.
due on the 16th of October.
Oh, wow. My son is the 20th of October. I call him my pumpkin seed.
Aw.
Yeah. Welcome, Michelle. It's so great to have you with us today. And we've also got with us Soul Garden's in-house nutrition expert, Damon Perry, joining us today. How are you doing, Damon?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I'm good.
We're so glad to have you with us today, especially since we're discussing our topic today is how to feed vibrant children. So we're really happy to have you here with us today. So Jennifer, what in the world's going on? What in the world's going on in the world today?
Oh, okay. I have a great story for you. We have a teenager down here in Texas. He's 17 now, who recently, well, I'll start from the beginning. He was 15 years old when he was playing around. He went out one night with some friends, stole some beer from a local Walmart, partied at his house, smoked a little weed, took a little Valium, got really, really drunk with his friends, and then they all got inside the truck and decided to drive. And as he was driving down this back road, I think the speed limit was 40. He was going 70. There were some people who had a flat tire on the side of the road and some people who had stopped to help her. And as he was going 70 miles down this road, he hit those people. And so he ended up killing 4 people and paralyzing one of his friends from the neck down for life. And so
Oh my God.
that was kind of the news story of it. So they end up going to trial, and his defense was something called affluenza. And it was a
That
term.
sounds like the flu. Does that come with a fever and stomach cramps?
I think so. But really what the psychologist in the case said was that this boy shouldn't have been held accountable for his actions because he was in an environment where he was raised very wealthy. And because he was raised wealthy, his parents didn't always hold him accountable for things. And so he didn't have the ability to really understand cause and effect and the effects of his actions. So,
Well, you know what would teach you really quick?
what?
Go to jail for killing 4 people and paralyzing somebody. That'll teach you.
Exactly. That'll help you learn it.
My first thought was, where were his parents? This sounds like it was something that was going on during the day. Where the hell were his parents? And so obviously, if okay, I'm really mad. If affluenza is the excuse, that means it's the parents' fault.
That was their
So they
defense.
should be in jail.
Mm,
Then they should be in jail for
Exactly.
murdering 4 people and paralyzing another.
yes.
Huh.
But
I
actually,
wonder if there will be another case.
Well, there have been some cases, personal cases and personal lawsuits for the damages of the people that were hurt. But as far as the boy, he was let off with 10 years probation, and he has to go to like a stint at rehab.
Wow.
And so that was kind of his punishment. His name was Ethan Couch. It was an incredible story. It just happened last July, and now court's finishing up, and the lawsuits are kind of finishing up. But affluenza, so it now gives you a defense. 10 years probation.
I don't imagine this child will be cleaning up trash on the side of the road. I wonder what kind of.
No.
I wonder what. Yeah. Wow.
It says his dad spent $500,000 to send him to rehab, and his consequences is he's going to be away from his family to learn to be a responsible citizen. That's what his punishment is.
Okay, so is this the math where poor families or families that can't afford that, they do get punished because they've been through shit in their life? Is that what's going on?
That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're rich and you have money, you can totally suck as a parent, I guess, for lack of better words, not hold your kids accountable and teach them anything, and it's not a big deal.
And also be in the running for really great positions in college so that you can become a politician or something.
Exactly.
Awesome. Great.
It's just such a ridiculous use of privilege. It's very sickening.
It really is, because there's so many other things they could be doing to help the world and to make the world a better place with everything that they have.
And unfortunately, it comes down to Daddy's lawyer has contacts downtown, and who he's buddy with and plays golf with can make some deals and get him off. That's basically what it comes down to.
Right.
Because the prosecutor went back twice trying to get the maximum penalty of like 20 years in prison, and he kept getting shut down.
So I wonder, the way that our justice system works, he can't be tried for that again if people say that judge was compromised, right?
Right, yes, because once you've been found innocent, you're done.
Well, that's like, okay, so I created an entire children's program based on taking personal responsibility. This is a very big deal. Yeah. That's what I teach my son, because if you don't realize that you're, I can't even go on that. Personal responsibility, folks. Teach your kids, or we'll come find you, because this isn't cool.
No.
I'm just saying, Well, on that note,
another example,
Are you? I'm just kind of speechless here. So I'm going to move on to something a little less frightening. But thank you for that, Jennifer. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So today we're discussing, I had to pull out 5 of my favorite do's and don'ts for feeding vibrant children to go along with the blog posted on the Modern Mommies page there at soulgarden.tv, where I've got a list of 10 do's and don'ts for feeding vibrant children. And I have spent my life as a healer, and I studied intensively human development and biology, and all kinds of different subjects that brought me to understanding nutrition, and also understanding that it's my responsibility as a loving mother to give my son not just the proper building blocks for creating the body he's going to be wearing for the rest of his life, but also to teach him the whys and hows and how to do it himself so that he can continue once I'm done with him, So I'm going to start with my, it's really hard to choose 5 out of the 10 because I'm pretty passionate about them all. Also a little bit more so that I know what I'm talking about. You don't know this about me, Jennifer, but I am so much more trusting of nature than anything else. So when I was pregnant with my son, I skipped prenatals and did my own with smoothies and nutrition and supplements, and then was so healthy that I had my son at home unassisted, and he was born in 45 minutes and completely healthy, and we've been continuing it today, and then the boy never gets sick. So,
Ooh, that's awesome.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I get sick because I don't sleep like I should, you know, but he doesn't catch it from me, so we're doing something right with the kid.
Absolutely. And Michelle, you said that you were pregnant.
Yep.
Okay, so are you taking prenatal vitamins and all of that stuff too?
I am. You know, I really thought that I would be able to have a more holistic pregnancy, but it's been a crazy whirlwind since I got pregnant in late January. I graduated college, and I've moved around way too many times. So I'm actually moving back to California in the next week, right before my birth, and so I haven't really been able to implement a lot of my own beliefs into the pregnancy, but I'm trusting that the kid's going to be, you know, just as strong as I have been throughout these past 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, can I throw my 2 cents in on the prenatals?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just jump in and say this, and I'll back out. The prenatal vitamins are probably going to be synthetic isolates, so I would avoid them if I were you guys. I would go for the whole food vitamins, or something that's more natural. There, that's my.
Well, I had to give up my habit of coffee in the morning, so instead I would go to my blender every morning and I would make a fruit smoothie, and I'd put maca root in there and coconut oil and hemp seeds and all kinds of stuff, and cinnamon and turmeric, and then I would make my veggie smoothies, and I would take that with me to work and drink that at lunch, and I wonder
how many women can hold that down, because because I know some that would not be able to hold something like that down. I'm sure a lot of people can, so I guess everyone has to do what they can, you know.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
That's true. That's true. I had a remarkably easy pregnancy and birth, and I think it was because of my nutrition, but I also, it's really a touchy subject when you talk about doing natural things with pregnancy and childbirth. There are so many mothers that weren't able to do it that way for some reason or another, and so it's been my experience that when I talk about it, I hear more from the moms that weren't able to defending themselves than I hear from the ones that were, and I do not ever mean to say that this is the right way or the only way, because everyone has their situation. I'm just simply saying, guess what's possible, because we don't hear about what's possible very often, about how amazing our bodies are. So plants did it for me, and apple pie made me not crazy.
And you know, it's so disappointing that those aren't the immediate options that you're given when you're pregnant. You know, in my pregnancy, I have felt so disregarded throughout all of my various prenatal doctors, and you know, even to the point where a pap smear was taken without my permission, and I was just like, what are you, I don't want that, what are you doing? So it's really sad to me, because I've always been a lot more about being earth-based and being more holistic with my choices, and to have a system set up where it's like, if you're not in a solid position as a human being in this system, then you can't necessarily do that for yourself. And it's been challenging for me to accept that about my pregnancy.
I completely understand. They looked at me like, oh, isn't she cute with her ideas and stuff?
Yeah.
That doesn't make them any money, I'm sorry.
Right.
And that's the truth of it. It's not economical.
They can't charge you for that stuff. They can't charge you for it, then they're not too big on it, right?
Yeah, every checkup I had I was so healthy. They weren't really pleased, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I secretly had my son at home and then took him to the birthing center after, they were really mad.
I bet they were so angry. You did it without a midwife?
I did. It was awesome. And on my Facebook page, I've got I wrote a little something about what I experienced, and it's amazing. And I think everyone should read it to see what really happens, because I'm a scientist, so I wanted to know for myself. I had one shot at knowing what this is all about, and I wasn't going to listen to anybody's what they say. And I'll tell you, it was like, if it didn't come with like 2 years of not sleeping, I'd do it again, just because it was really a powerful. Okay, so moving on. So I've got 10, and it's really hard for me to say which are the most important, but I'm going to start with one that's pretty easy and not as obvious for some reason, is avoid the gummy fruit snacks. Like, just don't even buy them, don't have them, don't nothing. They're okay. Okay, they have organic ones out there, and that's great, but it's still not healthy because it's sugar, and we're going to get into that later. But the main gummy fruit snacks you find out there, they're basically chemical coloring and chemical flavoring in some kind of disgusting gum base, and that's it. That's all it is.
So basically, okay. Crap.
Yeah, it's chemical crap shoved into gum.
Unfortunately, you know, the bad thing about the gummy bears or the gummy fruit snacks, the whole aisle of gummy snacks, the kids love them. They want the gushers, they want and you get like 6 bags for like $3. You get nothing, they're gone and like that. But you're right, they're absolute worthless nutritionally, and they all they do is it's just gummy sugar. That's it.
Poison.
High fructose corn syrup.
Absolute poison. And you can even find the organic ones, but there's still sugar, and sugar is terrible for your system. So, I have tips. I'm very passionate about this subject, everybody. Do you have, what do you think about this, Jennifer? You see at the school, do you see kids with these in their lunch boxes all the time?
Oh, yes, and it's snack. We have snack time at our school. And so there are tons of the gushers and the fun fruits and the fruit snacks and things like that. Chips, all kind, things that you can grab. Because I understand people are in a hurry and they don't have, always they don't think they have time to make some of those things. So it's like chips or things that are processed and in bags.
You know what the truth is? We don't have time to make that stuff. So we got to learn how to grab something else really fast. So, Michelle, what I have learned so far is that my son doesn't eat candy. He says sugar makes him sick. He's almost 3. I'm so proud of him. But what we do instead is we buy dried fruit. So I'll have baggies. I have baggies made up of. I found some cranberries that are soaked in apple juice for sweetening, and we have mango slices and dried apricots and dried cherries all put into little snack baggies ready to go. So I just throw those in my purse. And I always have one in my purse. And they taste like candy, but they're like not. They're good. They're good.
Like, well, that's my tip. Sounds good. Okay, next do and don't.
Let's see here. Well, let's just go right into avoid sugar. And hey, Damon, I know you could talk on this. Let's tell us why we avoid sugar.
Why do we avoid sugar? Sugar, I'll say this, I've said this many times, sugar is basically the devil. And it doesn't matter if it's bleached sugar, it doesn't matter if it's fruit sugar, it doesn't matter if it's turbinado, it doesn't matter if it's agave. Sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar to your body. It doesn't matter. And the problem is like you're saying, like fruit snacks, if you go, the way they get the kids hooked is they just load them up on sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and it's all about the bottom line, making the most buck for what you're giving them. So these are highly addictive products. They're just basically overloading the kids with sugar. And here's another thing that a lot of people don't know, which if you've watched the show we talk about, bread, pastas, things like that, basically are sugar to your body. However, they have a spike on your insulin levels worse than some sugars. I mean, I've read this before.
Really?
2 pieces of bread have a higher glycemic index than a Snickers bar. So by giving your kid, nobody knows this. So I mean, you obviously avoid sugar, you avoid fun fruits, you avoid, stuff like that. However, if you're going to Subway and you get your kid a gigantic piece of bread this big, it's like a sugar nuclear bomb. but everybody thinks they're eating healthy. I mean, you're getting processed meats, you're getting some, some veggies in there, but the bread is so bad it outweighs anything healthy you're even thinking about getting. So you'd be better off eating a couple of Krispy Kremes in terms of nutrition, because if the glycemic index is so high, it just spikes your blood sugar, and this is the type of thing that causes diabetes and things like that for the whole. That's why the majority of people are gaining weight and getting diabetic, because of a lot of the breads and the hidden sugars in the breads, plus all these fun fruits and things like that.
Now,
be vigilant because it's everywhere.
I have a major sweet tooth problem. Like my whole life, problem. I used to have like a packet of Pop-Tarts every night just for a snack, and at lunch, oh my goodness, when my mom would send me with money to go buy lunch, I bought cinnamon rolls and a Pepsi or something. That's what I ate every day, and now I have like not major, but I have inflammation issues, and I see kind of like redness on my face, and I looked it up, and sugar, hey, sugar ages you, and it gives you like inflammation in your skin. I'll tell you, that's not okay with me.
It's called sugar. Too much sugar, you're right, it causes aging to accelerate. It's called glycation, and it just also it feeds candida, that the yeast that's inside you. It lives on sugar and alcohol. So the more sugar you eat, you're just basically wrecking your health. You're feeding the candida, which causes like 75 different other health problems. So you're just compounding problem all the way around. And you know what? You were talking about the lunch. I got on my daughter's lunch account yesterday, and you can watch what they eat, and you can actually maneuver. I was putting money on her account, and it was disappearing really quick. So I got in there. I was like, what's going on? A lot of you can maneuver the money around so that you can limit their junk. And I wasn't doing that, but I started doing that. And she came home and she was like, "Hey, I can't buy the ice cream sandwich or the Doritos." I was like, "Oh, that's so sad." I don't know what's going on at the school.
Well, good for you.
Hey, you know what? I had a problem last night. I got up in the middle of the night and I had a cherry pie that was left out. I couldn't stand it. So everybody has their moments where they have like weak willpower and indulge, but it was there. Somebody had to get rid of it, so I got rid of it.
You ate my cherry pie?
Yeah, I did. And it was good too.
Oh. What?
Okay.
But I won't get into more. That was my one indulgence for like the week.
I'm going to rescue you both from arguing about the cherry pie, and you can figure that out later. But I want to say one thing that when I did cut out sugar, and I want to talk briefly about what really made me do it, because when it comes to having any kind of addiction, even if it's a sweet tooth addiction, it's so easy to talk yourself into just indulging a little bit. But before I go into what really got me to do it, because that's a big deal, is I want to say, mommies out there, and Michelle, I have just been loving the paleo search on Pinterest. I search paleo, P-A-L-E-O. It's the paleo diet where you're avoiding grains and sugar. And there are so many delicious snacks on there. Fast things, few ingredients, not difficult. So just I think if you can find one afternoon a week to just pre-make a bunch of chewy, yummy stuff, then that would be helpful, if you can find the time. But this is me three years later. But what really got me to change is I read about Weston Price, is a dentist from a long, long time ago, who discovered that sugar does destroy your teeth, but not from sitting on your teeth, but because the sugar in your bloodstream is leaching minerals out of your bones. So your teeth are not able to rebuild themselves, which they are supposed to do. So your body is regenerative. We don't know this because nobody teaches us this, but your teeth are supposed to fix themselves. And so people that have studied his diet and have gone along with it, you may have seen the book, How to Heal Your Teeth Naturally, was based on his diet and his theories. I've read a lot about it, and I've seen a lot of moms and dads saying, oh my God, we cut out sugar and followed this diet, and within just a week or two, they saw the cavities on their children's teeth like forming like webs. It looked like spider webs covering of enamel, building up layer by layer until the cavities were filled. by avoiding sugar and a few other things. I bought a book called Nourishing Traditions that has a lot of recipes on that diet, but pretty cool stuff. That totally made me quit sugar because I was like, whoa, my body is superhero, and I haven't been letting it do its thing, you know?
I really appreciate you bringing this up because before my pregnancy, I had just lost 100 pounds and completely changed and revamped my habits and my diets that I got from my parents. And throughout the pregnancy, it's just been so hectic that I've found myself going back to those bad habits. And a lot of them is carb-based and sugar-based. And I know it's bad, but with the hormones on top of it, I'm just like, gummy bears, you know? And so I really appreciate hearing that because it really is not something that I should be, and it's something that I can be avoiding completely by just making small changes, you know? So I really appreciate just the reminder of that.
They are small changes, and they really are easy if you take them one step at a time. But first and foremost, Michelle, be very aware of, especially with your emotions and your excitement and everything going on right now, be very aware of avoiding mommy guilt. Okay, you're doing the best that you can. So just keep doing that because we all have it. So that's why I say it in every show. Just get rid of the mommy guilt and just do the best you can. As long as you are loving, then you're doing it all.
Yes.
You know? So, and I ate so much cherry pie. I'm embarrassed to tell you how much weight I gained. When I walked through the house, like the house acknowledged my presence. I was just freaking huge, and I lost it all, but I didn't lose 1 pound until after 9 months of continued breastfeeding, and then it was just gone. So that'll happen too for you, Michelle. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, I saw a movie the other day called Fed Up. Now, I may be totally behind the times, and all of y'all may have all seen that. But I'll be honest, I kind of love my sugar, too. I love my cakes and cherry pies and all that stuff. Hot tamales are my favorite.
Oh, me too. Oh, crap.
Yes. We'll go and get boxes of them. Yes.
They're so gross. Jennifer, what's wrong with us?
I know, and that's like totally gum fruit, but I can't help it. So I saw this movie, Fed Up, and it talked about how sugar in everything is making our children obese and making them sick and, you know, all that stuff that Damon always says about devil stuff. But what was amazing is back in like the 50s or so, all of these doctors did a test, and the World Health Organization or whatever, when they published their results, their findings were that we were taking in too much sugar, and that we needed to cut our sugar back to like 23 grams or 23 milligrams a day. Well, of course, the sugar industry, who's big business, fought them and had that totally removed from their recommendations. And so, as a nation, what we started doing is they've started kind of trying to divert. And so we've done this big go low fat, you know, go low this, go low that. But really when you this is what the movie says, when you go low fat, they may be taking some of the fat out, but they're just adding more sugar to it. And so in almost everything we have, there are very few products that didn't have sugar in it. And so you're constantly bombarding yourself.
You know, what's scary about that is remember, everything is done because of, it's all about the money. So the low fat is a complete lie. It's all about some skewed studies back in the 40s trying to find a culprit for heart attacks. Sugar, you're right, the sugar industry has big bucks and they can lobby whoever they want. I mean, the entire food pyramid is completely tainted by corporate money. It's completely wrong. If you follow the government's food pyramid, it'll just make you fat and unhealthy, which is kind of what they want because everybody makes money on it with pharmaceuticals. We've already said that. So, yeah, you're right. If you can just drop sugar and eat more healthy fats, you will actually get in better shape. I want to see that. I haven't seen that movie, but I want to watch it.
I would encourage you to watch it. I Googled it and watched it really quick. It's like an hour and 50 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes. It was a great movie, and it was enough to make me at least think, okay, wow, I don't think I could go totally all natural and just eat like chicken breast and tomatoes and stuff like he does. But I think I could find a couple of ways that I could change a little bit, or take sugar out in some ways to at least make an improvement in my health. It was a great movie. I ought to go listen and watch it.
I'll tell you something. Those hot tamales, the king size boxes of hot tamales. When I was a kid, I'd put those away in like 2 days. But that king size box of hot tamales is what first made my brain work in this way. When I was a kid, I was standing in line and I saw a mark on it that said a fat-free food, and I was like, Are they saying I won't get fat if I eat this all the time? So I read the ingredients and I was like, oh my God, this is not food. And I quit eating those, but I still, it took me this long in my life to really get the sugar out. After 1 week of not eating sugar and avoiding ketchup and barbecue, anything with sugar in it, it's in everything. After 1 week, my sweet evil friend personally baked me monkey bread, and it was delicious. And I ate it. I ate it like a fiend. And I noticed for the first time in my life, as soon as the sugar hit my bloodstream, my heart started racing, and I felt clammy. And I was like, wow, that's what's been going on with me my whole life, and I didn't even know. And so now I don't even want those things. Like I just don't want to eat it. It's bizarre. I never in my life thought that I would do like that. But having the options on the
I wonder if
having
you
the
have
options
to go. I was gonna ask.
Having the options.
Your turn.
Having the options I found on Pinterest and also having that dried fruit on hand has really helped me a lot to maintain and make it not difficult. So, okay, your turn. Tag, you're it.
You think you have to go cold turkey on that, or can you just do like baby steps? Because ketchup, I love ketchup. There's some things that I don't know.
Right.
You can always do baby steps.
I honestly, I recommend cutting it out hardcore for a week and then see how your body reacts, because if you have the same experience I did, it'll just be different and over from then on. Instead of battling it.
Are you guys talking about, sorry, I popped off. Are y'all talking about weaning off bad stuff?
And
off sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes if you jump off too fast, you'll freak like I did and eat a cherry pie or something like that. That's why people, when they diet, they do it for about 3 days to a week. They're like, forget this, I'm done. And they start porking out because your body is used to having whatever it is, and it'll actually go through withdrawal. So what I used to do, like coffee, I would put 6 teaspoons of sugar in there because I was a sugaraholic with lots of cream and everything, and they were huge. So what I did was I started cutting that in half and putting stevia in, and just eventually just kind of weaned it all the way, because stevia has a sharp taste and sweetener, so you can't just jump over to it. You have to kind of wean yourself over until you're cool with the taste, and you just push the sugar out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what I did. So now I just drink it with stevia now.
I use honey in mine, and I would like to know your thoughts on honey in just a minute, but I do want to say that week that I quit, I knew it was going to happen just a day or two before, and I got on Pinterest, I got recipes, and I went and I made a ton of homemade Lara bars. You know those Lara bars? They're sweetened with fig, and they're bulked up with cashews, and they're really easy to make at home, and they're delicious. I made a few flavors of those. Kids love them.
Yes.
And I also made, special for Mommy, I made cacao, oh my gosh, did I just forget what they're called? Not haystacks, what are those? The coconut
Macaroons.
cookies. Thank you. I made cacao macaroons, and those were so incredible, sweetened with maple syrup, and also they had the added benefit that when I ate like 6 of them, I thought I could fly. So I had fun that week.
I've started putting out. I get a big bag of almonds, cashews, and pecans, and I'll put it out because I just eat them all the time. And I've noticed the kids one of the kids will come by and she'll eat like half of them. She'll sit there and munch on them, which is fine because they're high in good fats and they bulk up, and she's not eating chips or anything like that. So it's a good substitute.
Right.
Plus the Laura bars, we had fun looking up recipes, and I let them make it. I ate them all, but they made it for me. They tried. We used dates as a binder, and we put all the nuts we wanted to, and like cranberries to give it a little zing, and some coconut, and they just laid it out like a drop cookie. And they were so good, I just ate them all. The kids didn't really want to mess with them, but once they try them, they'll like them.
I made the cherry ones, which are my favorite when I buy them, but when I made them, I guess because I was eating only that in place of my sweet snack every night, they were just so strong, I ended up balling them up into little balls instead of having the big bar, and then they were like fruit bite snacks. It was delicious. So just prep and have these things on hand, That's really what you do.
That's the key to it.
And Michelle, I suggest, because you've got 1 month, this is my biggest mommy tip for you. Cook a lot right now and put it all in the freezer. I mean, I'm not kidding about that. Get your friends to cook a lot. Make a lot of things that you really want to eat, because you won't have time to really treat yourself when it comes to being in the kitchen. So do that now. Make yourself a bunch of really yummy stuff. So you're not eating Kroger's cherry pie,
Right.
It's so
also
good,
your teeth. If you're going to be breastfeeding, I don't know what your choice is on that, but if you're going to be breastfeeding, your teeth are really something you need to take care of. So start figuring out how to avoid the sugar and how to get that nutrition in you, like maybe the smoothies or whatever, because you're going to need to take care of yourself very much.
Yeah, I'm going to be breastfeeding, so that's like a whole new world of just mommy care that I need to go into.
If you need any tips or help or someone to cry to, at 2 in the morning, just hit me up.
Thank you.
Give you
I really appreciate that.
It's easier
I think mommies need to support each other, especially in making healthy alternative choices. We need to let each other know what's out there. So.
Yes.
All
yes.
right.
It's
Okay.
about having a community. Okay, so
which brings me.
Go ahead.
Yes. I was going to change it to number 3.
Go for it. Our number 3. Do and do.
Our number 3 is kind of going along with what we were just talking about, is make it easy. Have it ready and out. So you have your cashews out. My son downs cashews like nobody's business. I have on my counter. It's also extra fun for my 3-year-old. Anytime he wakes up from a nap or just anytime, I have fruit. I have bowls of grapes. I have slices of cucumbers, which he eats like chips. Bowls of cashews and almonds and walnuts, and just all this stuff just out on the counter all the time. And he eats them because they're there. Yeah. When your fast food is fruit and healthy stuff and it's there, they'll eat it.
That's true. That's like half of the battle, is just putting that stuff out there, because they'll munch on what's in your house. They really will, yeah.
That's what I was about to say. When you prep it, you put them out there with a little bit of ranch, maybe some organic ranch. They'll just go to town on it and just plow through all of it. Just trick them into.
And they don't even know, right?
They don't care. They're just like when they come home from school, they're so hungry they will eat anything, whether it's cherry pies, a bag of Doritos, they'll just plow through whatever's in front of them. So if you have some veggies and some nuts and stuff out there, they'll just grab it and run off and play Minecraft or whatever it is they do. But what they do, I'm serious, every time they come home, they're all starving, and they go right for the pantry, go right for the fridge, and they grab whatever's in front of them. And if there's nothing there, they'll turn to you and say, "Where's the food?" And it goes from there. So pre-planning is a good idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that makes it so much easier too. And I think having fresh fruit and nuts out is a less costly way to do these things. You don't have to go out and buy all of the organic brands of snacks. Just have some healthy raw stuff out there. Oh my gosh, and getting them to eat raw is a big deal.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, so that leads us to the question of the day for today. We have a new thing where each week we are going to ask our viewers and our audience a question of the week. And we'd like for you to either go to Tweet Talk TV and post your answers and comments on the Modern Mommies page, or you can go to the YouTube page on soulgarden.tv and post your answers. So this week's question is, we wanted you to kind of think about what your nutrition was like when you were a kid, and what was one thing that your parents did that you really, really liked, and one thing that your parents did that you really, really hated. That way maybe we can get together tons of ideas that really, really work, and then things that, you know, we can help other mothers know, maybe you want to stay away from that.
You can put these in anonymously, too, by the way.
Absolutely. But so, you know, Alexis, what's something that your mom did that you really loved when you were a kid, or, you know, didn't like so much?
I hated my mom's cooking when I was a kid. That's why I slept with a box of Pop-Tarts. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. It's just true. It's just true. Okay, so I couldn't stand, she had this big black pot that it didn't matter what she put in it or what she called it, it was always the same thing. It could be chicken soup, it could be meatloaf, I don't care. It always came out the same mushy vegetable thing, and I hated it. Now I'm a grown person, and I know that it's good for me and it tastes different, but if I saw that pot, I was curled up with some Pop-Tarts.
That's hilarious. Michelle, Damon, either of you?
I just want to throw in also, I wasn't able to share this, but instead of making mushy soup stuff, make smoothies. That was going to be my #1 and most important tip from me to you, is you can trick your kid into getting a week's worth of raw veggies and fruit by making some yummy smoothies. So go find some recipes that work. And you can throw in coconut oil and flax seeds and all kinds of stuff in there, and they'll drink it. Yeah. And they'll think it's fun.
We used to own a smoothie store back way in the old days. We had 2 of them, and so we were like masters of smoothies, the professional level. So yeah, you're right. You can put all kinds of stuff in there and just blend it up, and the kids, they don't care. As long as it tastes good, they'll drink whatever you put in front of them.
As long as it tastes good. My blender is not as good as the one I had when I was doing my prenatals. The one I had then had like a 4 horsepower. It was like a lawnmower motor. The one I have now is not that great, so it's kind of chunky when I do veggies. So if you're going to sneak veggies in, get a high-functioning blender, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that place made me a blender snob, so I'm real big on Vitamix and things like that. You want if you can get the best, get the best. If you can't, get a Ninja, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alexis, any other mommy tricks that you have for us on ways that we can get our kids to eat healthy foods and lunches and snacks?
Yeah, I'm so passionate about this subject. I just totally jumped in on this question to put that out there, but seriously, it's a big one. So, no, we can move on. Oh, I will say that I have 10 do's and don'ts in the blog right now on the Modern Mommies page at soulgarden.tv/modern-mommies. Michelle, what was your eating situation like when you were a kid?
Terrible. Horrible. It was a lot of fast food and Pop-Tarts and hot dogs. And, my parents tried their best, but they didn't necessarily know how to feed themselves very well. So I think the fast food was definitely the part that I am upset about, because it took a long time to get myself off of, like, that kind of behavior and the high sodium levels and the pizza bread bowls from Domino's and just all of these terrible things that you should not be eating in one sitting by yourself at all. But I think one thing that they did do, which probably came from my mom's mother, is they had a lot of fruit around, especially when we did go to my grandma's house. She's like a little Sicilian lady who has all of these fruit trees, and so it was always just like straight from the tree fruit trees, or fruit rather, and I think that was the part that I was like, wait, why don't we have more of this around instead of this? And so... But the fast food was definitely hard. It was definitely hard.
Kids know. You noticed, hey, this feels like I should be doing this. Well, kids do know. And go ahead, Damon, because I'm gonna move on to one more different trick.
Sure. Okay. Real quick. It also can backfire. Like with me, my family was super healthy. My mom was always making. She's a health nut, which is where I get it from. I had to sneak down to my aunt's house to get junk food, and I would all the time because she's the one with the Fruity Pebbles and stuff like that. So I always went down there and just would go straight for the cupboard and just start raiding what they had because my mom wouldn't buy it. So kids are smart. You can watch them. They know what the junk is.
Our bodies just know.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, that actually goes right into my final tip that I will share, and then you can go to the blog to read the rest. But the most powerful thing you could possibly do for your kids' nutrition is respect their intelligence and understand that they're just simply ignorant. They don't know, and they learn easily. Explain it to them. I explain it to my son. My son knows that sugar makes him sick and that we have other things that we use besides sugar, and we eat yummy stuff. When he was 2, I told him that carrots make your body strong, and they make your eyes strong, and also help you see at night. And his 2-year-old mind thought that meant that they turned into flashlights. So he would take a bite out of his carrot, and then he'd go, bright eyes. So then it became a game. So now we eat carrots, and we try to, like, battle each other with our bright eyes. And man, that boy eats some carrots. He asks for them for breakfast. He sees friends of ours that are sick a lot. They go to the doctor a lot, and sees that they drink sodas and eat pizza, Papa John's pizza. Sorry, Papa John's, but you know, and do all these things. And he tells them, you need plant medicine. He knows when he's sick, he wants his apple cider vinegar, and he knows about his plants, and he knows that they make him healthy, and he knows that the junk does not. So, and he's not even 3. So you just explain it to them, and they'll follow. And the easiest way to do that is to read the ingredients on that snack that they're throwing a tantrum for. You want those barbecue potato chips? Let's read what's in it. And as soon as you do that, their eyes go, whoa, that's scary.
My eyes go, whoa, what is inside of this?
Yeah. It's
and I'm
not
23,
food.
so it's not good.
No. You know, one tip that I found, because I tried to be a health nut, but honestly, I'm not. I'm just trying to find ways that I can do a little bit better. And so on Pinterest, I found something where to make popsicles, you could take fruit and put it in your blender and then chunk it up into pieces, like blend it up. You could add water to it or a little bit of juice and then freeze it, and it makes almost like those Dole fruit and juice bars. And that's good. I could eat that. And I think that would be a way that's more healthy. I'm not buying all that processed stuff with probably the extra added corn syrup and all of that. And it's just my natural, which might be healthier.
Like a big kid.
Yes.
That's
I love
wonderful.
popsicles.
I'm thinking to myself, maybe one day a month I can just go gung-ho in the kitchen and make all of this stuff for the month, because it is hard to find time to do it. So that's why I have the dried fruit.
These the bodybuilders, the people that are really crazy about their diet, they spend Sunday food prepping, and they put it all in their little Tupperware and put it away, so that way they don't have to do anything for the week. It's all done. But same thing, just a week at a time.
I have a friend who does that. She cooks all the meals on Sunday and then puts them in the refrigerator, and then she just pulls them out and bakes them. So just sets it all up.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Donate your Sunday afternoon to doing that, and then the rest of the week kind of, I guess, would go a lot more smoothly.
My mom does that. I need to learn that from her.
I did it last night.
Well
I made my
done.
lunch.
Do we have time for our new Hot Daddy segment?
Hold on. Let me do...
So-
Boom. Yes, it's time for our new segment. Go for it. Tell us about it.
Okay, so you may have seen this picture around before, but every time I see it, it makes my heart flutter. So we are going to be honoring daddies. We're going to be honoring hot daddies, doing hot daddy stuff. So this week we've got this awesome dude. I mean, tell me. Okay, so guys, Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the hottest thing to most women is seeing you be a good daddy. It really is. So we see the guy walking through the grocery store with his baby in a sling, and we're like, oh, that's so cute. Oh my God.
Yes.
So keep doing that. And if any of you out there have a hot daddy that you want to honor here on Modern Mommies, send us your pictures, and we will be, because we're going to be honoring hot daddies once a week here.
Yes.
So well done, superhero dad.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we would love to honor you and all of your hotness by being great dads.
Yes.
So
I love that guy.
Mm-hmm. A girl loves a guy in a cape or a uniform. Who could do without that? That's like greatness.
I don't know. I think if you're wearing a cape, you should be holding a child's hand. That's me. But
that's true. I
mean,
guess
if you're going for hot.
Kind of goes from cute to weird if you don't have the kid with you.
It's almost October. You could do that for the whole month of October and get away with it.
Oh, you would be like super dad, like you were dressing up with your kid. Or like Halloween and going trick-or-treating. Yeah, that would be good.
So yeah, definitely send us your hot daddy pics. And where should we be sending those, Jennifer?
You can send those to us at modernmommies@gmail.com, or you can post it in the comment box on tweettalk.tv on our Modern Mommies page too. And so send us those pictures. We would love to highlight you.
Yeah, and honor all the hot daddies out there doing great daddy stuff. Keep doing it. It's really hot.
Mm-hmm. So we are about out of time for today's show, Miss Alexis. That was some great information. Really, I'm not a big health nut, but there was something I could take away from that and just find small ways to make myself and my family healthier. So that was really good information.
Start off small and it'll become a habit. And then the next thing you know, oh my goodness, I am not able to consume anything with any kind of chemical additive in it. My tongue instantly knows it now and shrivels up and says no. Like, all I need is one taste of something, and my body instantly knows not to do it. And that took, it happened over a little bit of time, but it was little bit by little bit. It also helps to avoid anything that looks like it was colored in a nuclear explosion. So that's my last little tip I'm going to throw out there.
Stay away from the bright colored stuff.
Yeah, if it's fluorescent green, like, it's not supposed to be consumed. It's just not. So that's how I feel about that. Yeah. So all right.
Kiwi.
Oh, kiwi. Kiwi is fluorescent green, isn't it? Hey, Michelle, well done. I love kiwi. Okay, eat your kiwi.
Do your shopping on the outside of the grocery store, the peripheral area, because that's where all the healthy stuff is.
Mhm. Yep, and find your grocery store that has the things that you like. I mean, I drive out of my way to go to the grocery store that has a natural section in it, just because it makes it so much easier for me. And then once a month or once every 6 weeks, I head over to the natural food store. Find your place. If it's kind of a drive, then just plan it and buy enough to get you through a couple of months, or whatever you have to do.
Your dollar is the power.
That is true. That is true. And it's starting to show. A lot of people have been shopping this way, and they're starting to accommodate us finally.
Yeah. Yes.
And read your labels, because it might say organic and still have carrageenan in it. Really quick before we're done, because we do have a couple of minutes left, I'm going to say this for my mommies and for Michelle. I've had many mental breakdowns at the grocery store. Well, okay, I had 2 serious breakdowns at the grocery store when I was pregnant. It says it's organic, and then I read the ingredients, and it's not. It's like organic items with a bunch of chemicals holding it together. Just take a deep breath, give yourself time to find what you need, and Google search. If you see something you don't know, Google search it, and just take your time. And little by little, you will be completely informed, and you will feel completely, you will have confidence when you are handing the food to your children. Just give yourself time and don't stress out. And if you do end up having a meltdown at the grocery store, just know you're not the only one, and it's okay.
That happens to us all.
All right. Well, so this wraps up our third episode of Modern Mommies here on TweetTalk.tv. I want to say thank you, Damon Perry.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Damon, for joining us and sharing your wisdom. Damon is, are you filming shows right now live, or you're highlighted and have segments of your nutrition show on TweetTalk.tv?
Yeah, we're taking a little bit of break, but we'll start filming some more. We're getting some stuff together, so we'll have some newer ones coming out pretty quick.
You've still got great content on there. So Damon's got some great content on TweetTalk.tv, so be looking for him. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today. Michelle Rizzio?
Yeah.
I love your name. Congratulations. It is going to be a trip, and it's going to be beautiful, and you've never felt love like you're going to be feeling very soon. And if you need any help, we're going to get together after this. I'll give you my information. And yeah, thank you for being here and for sharing with us, and I'd love to see you again.
Absolutely.
And Jennifer, it's been great as always.
Yes, always. I love hanging out with you. It's fun.
It is fun. We're having fun. This is our work, and it's fun.
Do
go find the blog, right? That's how it should be. Yes. Do find the blog on Modern Mommies with the Tweet Talk. You can also find Modern Mommies easily on soulgarden.tv. There is an icon under What's Hot. What's hot now? What's trending? What's trending? Modern Mommies is trending, so you can find us easily that way. And we'll be back next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. And you can join us here live in the chat room where we will be answering questions and comments. And we look forward to seeing you then. Next week, we'll be discussing hyperactive children. So be looking for my blog on that coming out soon. And join us here next week to discuss this. Until then, live, love, be.